Bryan Barrett here with you, and we're joined by meteorologist Justin Bailey and Brian Bailey alongside as well to take a look at our severe weather that, Justin, honestly, right now it's kind of beginning to pop in places that we expected. So it looks like the forecast, at least through this early Friday evening, is kind of on point. Still some question marks for us to figure out here, but a lot of colors on the screen. Level 1 to 4 on the level of on the levels of 1 to 5, or all across our area, but can't get too caught up in that. That's for tonight and valid through 7 a.m. Saturday morning. And then as we go along, we move this to Saturday. You can see a level 3 out of 5 for all of Middle Tennessee, including Rutherford County. Damaging winds, possible tornadoes, some could be strong, and some hail possible as well. Can't overlook the heavy rain possibilities. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches look very possible. You get under some of those storms that continue to train over an area, and that has Rutherford County kind of painted in the 3 to 4 inch category. And strong winds, even outside of storms. Winds are going to get very gusty. National Weather Service believing 40 to maybe 50 mile an hour winds outside of storms. And if you get a 50 mile an hour wind gust, that's only 8 miles per hour under the limit for severe. So, going to talk a little bit about nighttime tornadoes and things of that nature and what you need to do, but thought we'd bring the two Baileys in here and kind of talk about things. I've got the HRRR pulled up. This is the only run that takes us through the late event. So this is the 18Z. I did check the others that were the newest and looking very similar. So I think we can put this out there without any reservation. Thoughts on what we've seen earlier today and what we think may play out, Justin?
Yeah, when you look at those charts, we pretty much got the full spectrum of colors that are available to us, and that's pretty. I mean, I think that's really what we're going to see from west to east across our state. You're going to have a full range of severe weather events over these next 24, 36 hours, and it's starting to unfold already. We got storms starting to fire back in Arkansas and a few attempts down in North Louisiana. Tornado watches off to our west, and mesocell discussions for uh, areas of West Tennessee. And it's looking like it's going to be a pretty active and long-term event.
This is the area in particular that has the mesocell scale discussion, but also the National Weather Service in Nashville really believes that this is going to be the generation of storms that could impact our area before this line of storms where all of these watches and warnings even further north are. So, and that's kind of what the HRRR is kind of picking up on. And Brian is down in the just south of Memphis in Holly Springs, and you were telling us before the recording that it's really humid. It definitely feels like some soupy air mass out there.
Yeah, it's hot down here. It's very humid. There's a lot of moisture down here. So if any little storm develops, it's going to take that path that the National Weather Service is worried about. So I'm down here. I just got down here, gassed up, and got an energy drink, and I'm ready for a long night. It's gonna be, it's gonna be intense if one develops. So I'm out here trying to hopefully not see one, but the likelihood of seeing one today is very up there. So I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the issues that we're kind of thinking is all of that warm, moist air and that air mass with the higher dew points and all is going to push these storms out in front of an area that really is untapped, and the storms that we thought were going to come through in a line
Yeah.
behind it. There may be a couple of early morning rounds now versus just one round in the early morning.
Yeah. I'm sitting at 80 degrees right now, and the sun's setting.
Oh wow, that is definitely warm, soupy.
Yeah, there's some storms already starting to develop just west of me. So I'm here and I'm ready. If I see something, I'll let y'all know.
Sounds good. We got a peek of those, and this is taking us to midnight, so pushes it a little further out on this HRRR model. But as we push it on out here a little bit further, if I can get my controls to work like they should. And now they all want to go through the whole thing. But let me back it up here. And this is 10 a.m. So let me go back just a tad further. For some reason, technology doesn't want to be my friend today. Justin, you and I talked about yesterday the fact that where the warm front goes is going to be the key. And the HRRR here, kind of give us a depiction on where you think as we run it through 8, 9, 10 a.m. Does that give you a look that warm front may lift, more northward of Rutherford County?
And which run of the HRRRs that we're looking at right
This is
there, the
this,
18Z?
yeah. The others don't go out quite far enough.
Yeah, the last few go right to about sunrise, 1213Z, and that they stop it. They don't even take it as far south as that 18Z, so that it's starting to trend just a little bit further north, which is concerning. But again, that is just one model's solution. There'll be a couple more models coming in about this evening, about 7, 8 o'clock, and be able to take a look at some of those and get a better idea, get a better consensus on, if these storms develop back in Arkansas, Louisiana, how far south is that uh, boundary going to be set up? And, do we wake up with sunrise tomorrow morning, or are we in rain and thunderstorms till noon? And really, that would be a better case scenario for us, as that would limit the amount of sunshine that we get during the day and the potential to destabilize. But where you're drawing that line right there, if we get in that warm sector south of that boundary and that rain-free air mass, that's where those discrete supercells could develop, and that's where you're really going to run into some issues if that materializes.
So that's what we'll definitely keep an eye on here throughout
I've
the
even
evening.
seen a few models that take that rain-free warm sector as far north as Clarksville, Bowling Green, and that's why, because of that possibility, the Storm Prediction Center does have that 10% hatched zone for tornadoes going to pretty much that northern limit.
Yeah. And there was some discussion, possible upgrades, in the first day one of the Saturday event. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see if that's a possibility. But regardless of that, where that warm front is, if we're south and east of the warm front, that's where the highest concentration of the heavier storms. And this is kind of bringing a line in through Nashville and knocking on the door of Rutherford County between 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And that's, I think, the end of the show, if you will. Maybe some leftover rain, a rumble of thunder after that, but that's going to be the thing that clears us out. But certainly has a concerning look about it.
Well, and even if the tornado threat doesn't materialize, like you were talking with the flooding threat and the non-thunderstorm high winds, I've seen reports today out of Texas and Oklahoma of winds gusting 65, 70, 80 miles per hour. Big time sandstorm, dust storms occurring out there. You could even see on visible satellite the dust storm starting to move into western Arkansas, western Missouri. Um, the non thunderstorm winds, especially once you soften the soil up with 3, 4 inches of rainfall, that alone is going to be cause some serious problems.
Certainly could down some trees and things of that nature. We've been fairly wet of late, so but a lot of rain on top of that could cause more of a problem. Um, so these storms are also, I think it goes without saying, they're moving fast. At the time of our recording here, there was a tornado warning, and that storm in particular was moving at 65 miles an hour. So these things
Yes,
are
yes,
racing. We need to know.
yes. That's what I'm saying. When I was saying last night, whenever you hear thunder, that storm's on top of you. There's not, you know, time to sit there and go look out the window and watch it roll in. It's take cover. It's here.
Well, let's give a few reminders here about nighttime tornadoes. This could be, it's going to be an early morning before the sun comes up. Weather radio, flashlight and shoes nearby, cell phone on, make sure it's charged, have those wireless emergency alerts enabled, and those will not come through if your phone is in do not disturb. So,
Right. We talked about that earlier today. Turn off your do not disturb.
and make sure if it's probably too late. I called around a few places just to see. All the National Weather Service radios are gone. They're off the shelves, which always happens right before a storm. But you need to have more than one way to be woken up in nighttime severe weather. A couple of additional things: know that safety plan. If you haven't done that yet, now's the time. Even for the daytime tomorrow, whenever there is thunder, whenever there's a warning issued, you don't have too long. I mean, these storms today at 65 miles an hour, that's interstate speed.
Right. Even experienced storm chasers are going to have a hard time keeping up with some of these storms as they're trying to be the eyes in the sky for us to confirm and verify that, yes, this tornado is on the ground. A lot of times people don't heed the warnings because, you know, oh, you get a dime a dozen of them. But when they see the pictures and the videos of the tornado, then they take it serious. And that's really what helps get the warning out and get the message delivered. These guys are going to have a hard time over these next couple of days staying with these storms.
And it's also, and Brian, you can attest to this, how tough it is to chase these storms, not only in the Dixie Alley, but anywhere in the Southeast. Plus, you've got nighttime. I mean, that's just not a real optimal time to be chasing in the area that you're in.
Yeah, yeah, it's very, very true. Typically, I wouldn't be out here being a nocturnal event. Um, Only reason I feel comfortable being here is because of the river and the flatland. If these storms, if I know there's a tornado on the ground and it's headed into the nasty chase terrain, I'm not even going to try to deal with it. Uh, just because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not a professional storm chaser. I just know enough and I've learned enough to be dangerous and to be able to be in a good spot. But I'm not trying to, document footage and shoot rockets up into a tornado and get sensor data. I'm not really trying to do all that. I'm just trying to, see what I can see and learn as I go.
We'll leave that to those with a little crazy streak in them. They have to
Yeah,
be
and
cowboyish.
armored tanks driving around. I don't have an armored tank.
Lost audio there for a second, but we'll wrap up with be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications here for the channel. RutherfordWX.com. That's the website. You can see links to the social platforms there. Or if you go to Ruco Weather on your favorite YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch, we would be live on those channels during any watches and warnings. Have a way to be woken up from severe storm possibilities tonight. If there are warnings issued, you need to have a way to be woken up, and we'll be here for coverage. For Justin Bailey and Bryan Bailey, I'm Bryan Barrett. Have a great evening, everybody. Stay safe.